everyone, welcome back to YouTube classes. It's again Divya here with class 11 physics. So in your last video we have started discussing about the motion of a body on an inclined plane, and the first case we have already seen whenever the body is moving along the incline due to its own weight, where theta is going to be greater than angle of repose theta c. Now today in our class we are going to discuss the next section of the same portion, that is the B part, motion down in an inclined plane when theta is less than theta c. So let us see what will be the equation. Now I told you in your B part we are going to consider that your theta is going to be less than angle of repose theta c. Now in this case, whenever this theta is less than theta c, an external force is required to initiate the body or initiate that particular block to be in motion. Okay, now let's suppose the inclination of the plane be theta. Okay, then what you have to consider, you are having an horizontal force F. Okay, then see that force F is the force which externally given to initiate motion. Okay, so that force is going to make an angle alpha there. Got it? So these is the basic things you are having. Now let us see what the free body diagram. Now the figure in the right side, you can see the free body diagram here. This is the free body diagram of the situation which we have taken. When you consider that you are going to resolve the vector, that is two forces you are having, that is your reaction force and the force we have applied, and the gravitational force also. As usual, you have resolved each external force you have. F you have resolved it into F sin alpha and F cos alpha, and as usual the gravitational force, that is the normal force, you have resolved it into mg sin theta and mg cos theta. Now let us start writing the equation. Now before you start writing the equation for your first one, F sin theta and R both are in the same direction, so adding both will give you the mg cos theta. And when you go with the other second equation, here you are going to have F cos alpha and mg sin theta, so that will be equal to Fs. Okay, so why it is equal to, you know how we are going to take the free body diagram equations, isn't it? So adding these, first case adding these three equation will be equal to 0, which will be cancelled. Since this is in the opposite direction, minus will come, so that you are getting it to the right hand side. That is why R plus F sin theta will become equal to mg cos theta. Similarly, F cos alpha here plus mg sin theta, because both are in the same direction, minus Fs will be equal to 0. From there, if you take this minus Fs to the right hand side, you will have F cos alpha plus mg sin theta will be equal to Fs. Okay, so let us start doing the derivation. Now let us start writing the derivation. Now when you see the figure, according to this, R plus F sin alpha will be equal to mg cos theta. So let us write the first equation. Okay, that is R plus F sin alpha will be equal to mg cos theta. Okay, so that is going to be equation number 1. Now next equation what you are having, that is with R you got one equation, isn't it? Now next equation, mg sin theta plus F cos alpha, both are in the same direction, will give you frictional force Fs. So that is going to be the second equation. So what will be the second equation? mg sin theta plus F cos alpha will be equal to Fs. So that is going to be the second equation what you are going to have, isn't it? Now already we have proved earlier, for Fs we are having one equation, mu s into R. Got it? Yes or no? So from this equation already we have proved Fs is equal to mu s into R. This is the equation we have already learned earlier, isn't it? Now what you have to write? Now from this, what you can write? You have to write an equation for r, isn't it? Now from equation number 1, you can write an equation for r, isn't it? So r will be equal to mg cos theta minus f sin alpha. So this is from equation number 1, you are writing r. From here you write what is r, that is being written here. Now after that, what you are going to do? This equation you are going to substitute it here. Okay, so what will be that equation? Fs will be equal to mu s into, instead of r it will be mg cos theta minus f sin alpha. Okay, now from here what you have to write? You have to write what is this f. Okay, solve this equation and you are going to write what is f. Now to find out the value of that f, what we are going to do is, this equation number 3 we are going to substitute in equation number 2, that is equation number 2. Instead of this fs, we are going to substitute this value. Then what will you get? That is mg sin theta plus f cos alpha will be equal to, instead of fs we are going to substitute this value, that is mu s into mg cos theta minus f sin alpha, isn't it? Now what we are going to do it, we are going to solve this equation and we are going to find an equation for f, that is mg sin theta. So in your textbook this explanation derivation is not there, directly answer is given. Those who need it, you can take down the explanation. Will be equal to, here you open the bracket, ms into mg cos theta minus mu s f sin alpha. Okay, now what you have to do? You have to bring these f terms together and remaining terms on the other side. So when you do like that, it will be f cos alpha minus mu s f sin alpha will be equal to mu s mg cos theta and minus mg sin theta. So when you rearrange it, you are going to get it like this, isn't it? Now here f you are going to take it in common, then it will be cos alpha minus mu s sin alpha will be equal to, right hand side as such, mu s mg cos theta minus mg sin theta. Okay, now if you write f from here, what you will get? From here f will be equal to mu s mg cos theta minus mg sin theta divided by cos alpha minus mu s sin alpha. So this is the equation you are getting for f. Now this equation is directly given in your textbook. This derivation is not given. How it has come? It is only given that putting this equation number 3 in 2 and solving for f, you will get this equation. Directly it is given. So those who are having doubt, you can take down this. Okay. Now what you are going to do is that instead of mu s, you are going to put back mu s is equal to tan theta. We have already seen mu s is equal to tan theta s, isn't it? So that we are going to substitute it here. That is, we are going to substitute mu s is equal to tan theta s. Okay, so that let us see what f will be. F will be equal to tan theta s mg cos theta minus mg sin theta divided by cos alpha minus tan theta s sin alpha. So this is what you are going to get when you are going to substitute mu s is equal to tan theta s. Now what is this tan theta? Tan theta is equal to sin theta by cos theta. So that you are going to substitute it, so that you will get sin theta s by cos theta s then what is remaining into mg cos theta minus mg sin theta divided by cos alpha minus, instead of tan theta s you can write it as sin theta s upon cos theta s into sin alpha. Okay, now what you are going to do, take the LCM here, take LCM here, and what will you get when you take the LCM? Now when you are going to take the LCM, what you will get, mg into sin theta s cos theta minus cos theta s sin theta divided by cos theta s the whole divided by, this is f is equal to, isn't it, the whole divided by, and on the denominator when you take the LCM you will get cos theta s cos alpha plus sin theta s sin alpha, isn't it, divided by cos theta s. Now this cos theta s and this cos theta will get cancelled. Now what will be remaining? Remaining will be mg sin theta s cos theta minus cos theta s sin theta divided by cos theta s cos alpha plus sin theta s sin alpha. Okay, now this is the equation what you are going to get. Now when you go through this equation, you will find that now when you analyze this equation, in the numerator part, here it is of the form sin A cos B minus cos A sin B, isn't it? So this is the expansion for cosine A minus B, isn't it? So numerator is the expansion for sin A minus B, and denominator it is the expansion for cos A minus B. Because in trigonometry you are learning sin A minus B is equal to sin A cos B minus cos A sin B. And what is cos A minus B? It will be cos A cos B plus sin A sin B. So when you consider that, you see here in the numerator sin A cos B minus cos A sin B, so that you can write it as mg, instead of A and B you are having theta s and theta, isn't it? So you will be writing sin theta s minus theta, and in the denominator it is of the form cos A cos B plus sin A sin B, that is the expansion for cos A minus B. So in the denominator it will be cos theta s minus theta. So this is the equation you are going to get for f. Okay, so for you got an equation for f. Now when you analyze this equation, it is very clear, isn't it? That is the force required. If you want to initiate a force, we told at the beginning, we need an external force to initiate this. So that minimum force that is required to initiate the motion, it will be satisfied only when the denominator, that is the denominator whatever you are having, this cos theta s minus theta or cos theta s minus, sorry, here it is alpha, isn't it? I have written theta here, it is not theta, it is alpha here. Okay, so this cos theta s minus alpha will be maximum. Okay, when you analyze this equation, if the minimum force will be f minimum to initiate when the denominator is going to be maximum, then only the total value will be minimum, isn't it? So this, for this condition to be satisfied, or theta s minus alpha has to be minimum or which is equal to 0, isn't it? if that it has to be maximum value, that is cos theta is having maximum value when theta is equal to 0, that is theta s minus alpha is equal to 0, then only F will have a minimum force, we will get a minimum force to initiate the motion. So if this condition has to be satisfied, theta s should be equal to alpha. According to this equation, theta s should be equal to alpha. So what you can say, the force needed to initiate a motion will be minimum when it is applied at an angle alpha which is equal to the theta or your angle of repose. So what can you conclude? What can you conclude? F will be equal to mg sine theta s minus theta. If that is a condition is satisfied, the final F will be equal to mg sine theta s minus theta. So this is the least force required to initiate a motion in an inclined plane in a condition that theta is going to be less than theta c. Okay, so this is all for today, and we are having a third part. We will see it in the next video. Go through the derivation properly. If you have any doubt, put it in the comment box. So what you can do as a homework is that the full derivation explanation completely is not there in your textbook. Do this derivation 2 or 3 times and see whether you have any doubt. So till we see in the next class with the next derivation, stay safe, take care, thank you.